My whole life, I always knew I was special. Even with no remainders, I could always move a decimal. Money on my mind while the girls that made un beso. Hustlers in my blood and it's running through my vessels. Just trying to clear the threshold, just trying to make a way. In my race against time, I could see an early grave. School to prison pipeline, 12 years a slave. Suspension and detention is conditioned for a cage.
You are now tuned into the Boxing Bros. I am Caden, and I want to say Happy Easter to everyone who celebrates Easter, and if not, happy holidays to everyone else. You know what it is. It's the Boxing Bros. Introduce yourself, fellas.
What's going on, everybody? This is Trill Dollar Bill, man. And before we get started, before we go any further, I got to give a big happy birthday to our own, Caden. Happy birthday to my brother, Caden, man.
Hey.
Happy birthday, man. We love you, man. Hold on. We're going to break it down. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, homie.
Yo, I'm gonna say pause. I didn't like how I never singing just now.
Happy birthday, homie. That's all. That's what it is, right there. You know what I'm saying?
He started doing the Marilyn Monroe version.
What's wrong with that, man?
Let's go. 1, 2.
Nah, it was
we go.
No.
I know. Hey,
Ned. You know Ned likes to sing the men, man. Let him do his thing.
Hey, I don't want to walk in your shoes, man. I ain't trying to.
Yo, Ned, go get the size 14s ready, man. This is G, man. What's going on, everybody? Again, happy born day to my brother, Caden. Yeah. Oh, man. Yo, go ahead, Ned.
Yo, happy birthday, Mr. My bad. Happy birthday, Caden. Yo, happy birthday, son. I feel. Just much respect to this man right here. He does so much. He's a stand-up guy, and shout out to you and more life, man, more life. And yeah, it's the TBE, baby. You already know.
All right, so the first topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is the biggest fight thus far this year in boxing. Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas. We're going to get everyone's reaction to the fight. I'm going to start this one off with Trill, Dollar, Bill. What was your reaction to the fight?
My reaction to the fight was wow. It was good. I liked it. I liked the fight. I know we're gonna continue with other stuff, but I thought it was a good fight. I thought Errol did what he was supposed to do. He went in there. He beat up on Ugas. He just had a lot of power with him. He was just trying to go. It looked like he just wanted to go in there. He wanted to stop him. It looked like old Errol man down. That's what it looked like. So I was impressed. Errol to me was a little reckless at times. Like he was trying to, push it. So, but it was good. He got the 3 belts.
All right. I'm gonna turn it over to Conspiracy G.
Yeah, I thought it was a I'm not gonna say great performance by Spence, but it was still a pretty good performance. I do agree with Trill. I kind of felt like he was a little too reckless. Like Spence likes to lead a lot with his head, and he bows down a lot, which I was like, all right, this is where Ugas could capitalize. But Ugas wouldn't do it. And it's weird because Ugas, to me, was the stronger fighter in the fight. Like, Ugas would push this dude off with ease, but Ugas wasn't letting his hands go. So Spence practically dominated the entire fight with the exception of, I think it was the 9th round, right? Or was it the 6th? What was that round where the mouthpiece fell out?
6th round.
6th round, yeah. So the only time I was like, all right, Ugas, you got that, was when Spence foolishly watched his mouthpiece roll on the floor, and then Spence was like, oh my goodness, let me go pick that up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what are you doing, fam? And he paid for that. Oh, go ahead, Ned.
You wasn't like, oh, Spence, your mouthpiece felt like, Spence, Ugas, let's do it. Ugas.
Yo, listen, y'all already know Fawn. See, Ned, now you trying to be funny. Ned knows I like both gentlemen. So I just wanted to see a great fight. So I was disappointed in Ugas. I really was. Go ahead, Ned. Go ahead.
When you say you like both gentlemen, what do you mean by that?
Meaning I have no dog in the fight. I just want to see a good. I wanted Spence to win. You know that because I want to see Spence versus TC. I don't want another AJ Wilder situation. But I wanted Ugas to have a good showing. I didn't feel like this was a good showing for Ugas. You know what I mean? Like Ugas, he spent more time shelling up than letting his hands go, and it showed. Like this guy, and that eye was horrible. Like his eye was closed, and thank goodness the doctor was like, yo, enough is enough, because I didn't want it to be lasting damage. I still feel like Ugas has a good career. Like he's still a good name. You know what I'm saying? I know Al could give him a lot of work in this division. So I didn't want him to have like lasting punishment. You know what I mean? So I felt like the stoppage was great. I wanted that TKO. I thought it was going to be in the 9th. It happened in the 10th. Hey, it's cool. But I just felt like Ugas should have did a lot more. You know what I mean? Like Spence, at first I was like, maybe, and I forgot who said this in the chat. Maybe it been Trill, maybe Kate. I can't remember. But somebody was like, yo, maybe Ugas is like waiting to turn on in the later rounds against Spence. And I was like, yeah, maybe. But you're giving up too many rounds. I'm telling you, from round 1 to 5, it was clear Spence. So I'm like, yo, that's a risk because all Spence need to do is just win 2 more rounds and he wins the fight. So I was just like, yo, Ugas, please, man, do something different. Ugas was I don't know, man. He was a shell of his old self because the Ugas who fought Pacquiao wasn't letting that happen. So that makes me feel like Spence, people may talk about Spence's power. He clearly must have power because Ugas didn't really open up like that. So that tells me, Spence got hands. You know what I mean? And he may not have like the one-punch knockout power, but he has the punches and bunches. And clearly when you see Ugas's face, it showed. So salute to Spence for doing that damage, and salute to my man Ugas. Like, even though he lost, like, he should still hold his head up high, man, because it's tough, man. Spence is arguably the best guy in the division, man. So it's nothing to be ashamed about, but I just wish Ugas did a little bit more.
Yeah, man. Broke it. I think he broke his audible bone.
I hope not, man.
I think he did. Oh, funny thing is though, like, I gotta say this because I don't want to seem messed up, but I gave Ugas 2 rounds. I did. The round that he knocked out the mouthpiece because Errol was being lackadaisical, and then
so the 6
and the first round because when I wrote it, I said because Ugas landed more punches and he was more accurate just in that first round. So I gave him the first and the 6th round. That was it. But I agree with everything you said. He was just getting beat and battered.
All right. TBE.
I just want to do this for my team. A moment of silence for Yordenis Gamboa, aka Baby Kaden. What you talking last night? Moment of silence. G, come on, man. You're ruining it. You're ruining it.
It's bad, yo. I'm sorry. Oh,
moment.
I forgot about all them jokes last night, man.
It's a moment. It's a special moment. Can we just give it 5 seconds here?
You know what? I'm starting to understand how you could slap someone on national television.
Well, on to that note, if you ain't seen that fight, go watch that fight. But shout out to Isaac Cruz. And I want to say, my reaction to Spence versus Ugas. Ugas, like, you shocked us when you beat Pacquiao, but last night, you didn't come out. You didn't bring your best with you. And you needed your best to beat Spence because everything was on the line. You finally became champion. Like G's been proud of you around for. And when the Spence
those goats didn't work, G. Those goats didn't work, G.
No, I was like, yo, he didn't sack. You know what it is? Spence sacrificed the curry goat. You know what I'm saying? So it was spicy. That's what happened, man.
You can't sacrifice a goat for a man who eats curry goat.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
So, Ugas, so you can't you had heart, but you ain't had the skills, yo. Like what I saw last night was you let a man beat and batter you, and the 6th round was a lucky round because if the mouthpiece never, I'm not gonna say it's lucky. It was a slipper by Errol Spence because he should have never looked away. He should have never looked away. He should just kept his head in game and flew out, and the match is still going and going. So you went to go look for it. You got him, and I'm not gonna Ugas. You got power, you got length, you got the skills, but you didn't utilize it properly against Spence. You weren't using your range. You let Errol Spence come upon you, and you get inside. Pause. That sound crazy. That sound crazy. I don't know. Whatever. Great. Thank you. But you let Spence utilize the mid range and the inside game. His inside game, Spence had it on lock on you, and that would diminish your range because you have long arms. And I was like, as long when you had the strength in the long arm, when you put Spence off, you had to throw at least the right hand and let him know stay back. No, but you never did. Every time you push him off, Spence would come right back in and do his work. And at this point. It was round after round. You kept doing that, and you weren't letting your hands go. At one point, it was like 1,000 punches to more than over 100, 200 punches. It was crazy. The stats was insane. But that round where you caught him off guard, that showed you. I was telling him, yo, he got power. You're packing a punch, and you packed that punch when you hit him, and he respected it. He was like, but you didn't know how to capitalize off of it. If it wasn't that I swear was crazy. It was so much. I don't know why they kept it going on when the doctor checked it the first time. When the doctor checked the first time, I don't know why the first time.
Ugas is a good liar. He's like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
The doctor was like,
yo, the eyes, you can't see no eyeball, no. The eyelashes aren't moving. You can't even see him raise his eyebrow. He ain't got
no eyelashes, bro. Remember his alopecia, he got nothing. So
shit. Well, shoot. He couldn't raise nothing. Yeah. He couldn't raise nothing. So hey man, but shout out to ref for stopping the fight early because that was an insane fight, and it was a good fight. I was insane by this fight. I'm not mad. I will watch this fight again because it was that good. But gosh, you gotta let yourself know how to let them hands go because that's what caused you this fight. It caused you this loss. It caused your eye to bubble up in the first place.
Oh man, now you tripping, cuz. All right, so listen, for starters, I want to say this. For Errol Spence to do that off of a long layoff, I believe around 17 months.
17 months. Salute.
To come out there and dominate Ugas the way he did, if you're hating or you're trying to disrespect Spence's performance, you have to ask yourself, where would a victory over Ugas rank for all the other fighters in the welterweight division? Not just Terrence Crawford, for those who are going to say oh, he's taking a shot at TC. Everyone. A victory over Ugas would be Jerome Boots in his biggest win. It would be Virgil Ortiz's biggest win. It would be up there with Terrence Crawford for his biggest win, which is Sean Porter. So Ugas, Sean Porter, whatever, will be one of his biggest wins on his resume. Errol Spence did this coming off a layoff. And he dominated Ugas. So Trill makes a good point. The first round was one of those rounds I felt like could have gone either way. Ugas was sniping, though. He was being more accurate, and he was landing, to me, the cleaner punches. But Spence was more active, and Spence landed a good amount of punches as well. So I could see that round going either way. But what you take away from that first round is that Yordenis Ugas was in shape. Yordenis Ugas did come to fight. Yordenis Ugas did let his hands go. But what happened was, after that first round, Spence figured him out a little bit. And every round after that, Spence broke Ugas down. He slowly took Ugas's will away. And so it's easy to say Ugas needs to throw punches. But if you've ever boxed before, and like this isn't one of those things where I'm trying to like disrespect people who haven't boxed. I'm just saying, if you ever boxed before, you understand the dangers of opening up, right, against someone who's a good counterpuncher. So that's why when you see guys fighting Floyd and you see some guys fighting Canelo, and you guys are sitting there saying like, oh, they're afraid to throw punches, or they're just sitting there looking like a punching bag. It's because that's the only position where they feel like they can at least pick off some of the punches. When you try to hit someone and you miss, and then they land clean to the body, they land clean to the chin, they land clean, that hurts more than if you shell up sometimes and just try to pick off punches. And so when Ugas was getting hit from all angles by Errol Spence, he decided he was going to shell up and try to land counters. But Errol just kept the pressure going. And that's what you got to give. Go ahead.
But this is why I'm going to give Ned his credit, because I agree with Ned. But Ugas, why would he allow Spence to be on the inside? Why not step back and try to use his reach as an advantage?
Okay, so if he steps back, okay, you know what I mean? He steps back, Errol Spence steps forward. What does he do?
Yo, then instead of stepping back, step at an angle so you can have an opportunity.
Spence simultaneously steps at the angle with him and then steps forward immediately.
But at least allow Spence to do it. He never allowed Spence to do it. He just stayed in the pocket and was like, all right, I'm just going to
Your argument is based upon Errol Spence not having the ability to cut off the ring. As long as Errol Spence knows how to cut off the ring, he's never really going to be able to keep Errol Spence off him unless he has a monster jab. But Errol Spence already started to take away his jab. And Ugas is one who doesn't really use the jab anyway. We saw it in the Manny Pacquiao fight. So I get what you're saying. Like if you're the taller, more rangier fighter, usually the way you keep the shorter guy off of you is with a stiff, mean jab, like what Anthony Joshua did to Andy Ruiz. But Ugas rarely uses his jab. He didn't use his jab in that fight. So I don't know how else he was supposed to keep Spence from getting inside. Go ahead, Ned. You say you.
And I was sorry, man. I was saying Ugas you should have used his left or his right every time he pushed Spence off, because Spence was off balance. You could see he was off balance every time. Ugas would push him off of him because Ugas would have had the muscle. Ugas had the strength to control to dictate the fight, but he didn't. Every time Spence came in, it would be a low.
I agree with that too. Ugas was clearly stronger than Spence.
Yeah.
Ugas at ease would push him off a lot of times in that fight. Ugas, like,
does that mean stronger? Does that mean stronger though? Because pushing really is, you're not really supposed to push someone in boxing. So when Ugas, hold on. So when Ugas is pushing Spence, he's not really prepared for the push like that. So yeah, he's pushing him off. Spence is focused on trying to get position to land punches. And once he does get position and Ugas knows that he's in trouble, he resorted to pushing Spence.
Yeah.
But that's not a part of boxing. So Spence's mind isn't set on position yourself for the push. No, so he's getting pushed off.
That's what I'm saying. Ugas needs to throw punches when he throws the push because Errol Spence is off balance.
Cannot follow up the punch.
Okay, so he needs to throw a punch when he goes off the push. I'm gonna say a few things. One, yeah, if I pushed you when you weren't ready, I'm gonna look super strong too. So just keep that in mind. But also, if he pushed Errol Spence and then jumped on him to throw punches after he pushed him, one, I don't necessarily know if he doesn't start getting points taken away from him. But two, you're under the assumption that Spence still wouldn't have been able to rock him. And that Spence still wouldn't have got the better of it. You have to understand, like, it looks a certain way, but that doesn't mean that he would have been able to capitalize off of it. And so all I'm saying is when he was in there with Spence took away his bolo punch, the bolo punch that he was hitting Manny Pacquiao with all day long, right? Remember, Manny Pacquiao's a shorter fighter. He could control the distance better with Manny Pacquiao. Errol Spence said, I'm going to be in range to where your bolo punch is going to be ineffective. And even when Errol Spence was outside of range and he tried to throw that bolo punch, Errol Spence would pick it off using his glove and his forearm. This is what I'm saying to you. Errol Spence effectively took away everything that Yordenis Ugas did well, and he ripped him with mean body shots. I would say this. There was one round, I think it was like the 8th or the 9th round, where Ugas did some magnificent body work. And I was like, man, he needs to keep that body work up. And in the very next round, Errol Spence took it away. Like, I hear what you guys are saying. You wanted Ugas to go out on the shield more, take more risk. I'm with you on that. But at the same time, that man was nursing, like what Trill said, what could turn out to be a broken orbital bone.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember when he got hit and he just kind of stopped in his tracks. It looked like he was thinking about going down for a second, whatever.
I knew it was dangerous. Yeah.
I think that's the moment where something happened, right?
Facts.
And he decided he was going to keep fighting, but he wants to protect his face. So it's like you want to take, you got like this. You could either cover your eye or you could try to take a shot. And if you miss that shot, you just gave open season on that eye.
And shout out to Ugas though, because Ugas was a warrior. If y'all remember, but way before the eye started swollen up, I mentioned if that eye was going to hold up.
Mm-hmm.
That happened way before he went through rounds, and that eye was messing up, and he fought through that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give props to Ugas. He didn't come to lay down.
Yeah, he didn't want to give up either. He was telling the ref, like, nah, I mean, the doctor, I can keep going. I'm like, nah, bro.
Ugas trained his butt off. That was a prime Ugas in there. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt about that.
That was a prime Ugas. So you got to give him I want to give him his respect and give Errol his respect, because that was a 100% focused Ugas who came there to win. He was confident. He was
smiling in between rounds until he wasn't. No, and like, and just to get back on this, Errol Spence had a lapse in judgment where he failed to protect himself, right? And that's the only moment that Ugas really had in the fight. But let me say this to you. I don't know if it's true or not, but Errol Spence said the ref said stop. I don't know if the ref said stop, right? But what I know is this. When Ugas landed the right hand and then he went to jump on Spence, it looked like the referee jumped in to like say, hey, like stop. So to me, that means that Errol Spence is probably right. The referee did say stop when his mouthpiece fell out. And Errol's been doing this for so long, I don't think he's going to be that defenseless. This dude literally dropped his hands and was looking at his mouthpiece when he got punched. Which brings me to my next point. Errol got a mother effing chin because he wasn't even looking at Ugas. Ugas got a free straight right hand where he put everything on it. And people were like, oh, Errol got rocked. Yo, most dudes would have got dropped. Look at what happened to Andre Darrell when he fought was it Kessler? Not Kessler, it was Arthur Abraham. When Arthur Abraham gave him the little punch when he was, and then he went down. Look at how what was it? Victor Ortiz with Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd Mayweather gave him the right hand off guard. Look at how so many people, Errol Spence literally took Yordenis Ugas' best punch off guard and didn't fall, bro. All that did was impress me more with Errol. Like, yo, this dude is a serious dog. Oh, yeah. And what happened after that round? 6th round? Was it the 7th round? Errol beat the dog mess out of him. And then in like the 8th round, it looked like he was about to stop him.
Yeah, the 8th round was a debatable 10-8 round. It was crazy. You know?
Yeah. Yo, all he did was make Errol mad with that sucker punch. Yo, so I'm gonna say like this because we got more for the show rolling. For a layoff, to be off 17 months and come back and fight another champion and unify, which is something nobody else in that division has done in welterweight. Well, I shouldn't say nobody else. Was it? Well, he's the only one right now, and he's the only unified champion. He fought Ugas off a 17-month layoff, dominated the man. Ugas' best moment was his lapse of judgment. Took one in the chops, clean, and still came back and dominated the fight. If that doesn't impress you, if you still hating on Errol Spence, if you still think he's a punk, if you still think he's a ducker, There's no changing your mind. And quite frankly, I wouldn't even value your opinion if I was Errol Spence. Strap season begins now. Salute to brother Errol Spence. Salute to Ugas. You put up a hell of a fight. You took punishment, bro. You should be proud of yourself, everything you've been through. Salute to Chapman, too, the baseball player from the Yankees who bought my man Ugas back. That's brotherly love at its finest. Great light of boxing. We out.
Yeah, whatever. Happy birthday to my brother, Kanan. Love you, my brother. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We're just getting started. We're the Boxing Bros. Yo, in the comment section, go crazy, go ham. Wish my brother a happy birthday. Show him some love. Go stupid. You dig? It's the Boxing Bros.